Welcome to the True Visionaries 2026. Today, I'm joined by John Andrew. John, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks, Leo.
Well, look, we're going to ask you three rapid fire questions that our audience are dying to know the answer to. So tell us, firstly, how and why did you get started in the short-term rental industry?
Sure. So after college, I actually wanted to go the finance route. I worked in investment banking in New York at Citigroup. I hated that job and I wanted more freedom and flexibility. So I decided to venture off on my own and start my own business. I got introduced to what was then HomeAway. Now it's Vrbo. And I started managing vacation rentals in Florida, moved down to Florida and managed a lot of vacation rentals by Orlando, the Disney World market. And since then, I noticed a growing need for owners who actually need to self-manage and actually need local boots on the ground, cleaning, maintenance, co-hosts to take care of that as a complement to what they do. So that's what my business does now. We help host that self-manage, and that's what vacationhomehelp.com is about. I love what I do. I love meeting guests. I love taking care of our owners. And I know the industry is going into some very different territory with all this automation, but I'm excited to be part of this industry. It's such a great business. There's never a dull day, whether you're making a bed, unclogging a toilet, or handling dynamic pricing. There's always something to learn and something to do, and I love what I do.
Fantastic. Thanks, John. Tell us, you'll have a good answer for this, I'm sure, given your experience. What's the one thing that hosts are not doing that they should start doing today?
I think what they're not doing is pricing correctly. We have a lot of hosts that are still doing manual pricing. And when there's all these great dynamic pricing tools, not endorsed by any, but you got Price Labs, Beyond, lots of tools that can make the job easier. You do need a human touch and you do need to learn the tool, whatever you're using. But a lot of hosts now are leaving it as a second thought and they're using smart pricing or Market Maker on Vrbo. And it's obviously incentivized by some of the platforms, right? Because they will drop the rate pretty low to incentivize bookings. So host, if there's one thing they should do, it's to learn revenue management, because revenue management is a difference between having a great year and having a really bad year. And there's a lot to learn in that space. So if you're a new host or you're a host looking to improve your business, I would take a course on revenue management or digest as many materials as you can so you could get the pricing right, because it really makes a difference.
A huge difference, right? And I like the way you just described it there. It could be the difference between like an okay year and a good year, right? If you get it right. Really good advice.
Thanks.
Tell us, John, with the crystal ball out, looking at 2026 and beyond, where do you think the industry's heading?
Well, I think it's going to be the year of the robots. We already seen chatbots and what AI has done to the space. It's made it easier. It's made it cheaper, but it's also changed the game and the value. The value proposition a lot of managers have for their owners, because much of the job can now be automated through smart replies, through property management systems, and it's going to make the job easier. It's not going to displace what we're doing, but it's definitely going to disrupt the space. And I think it's going to make it easier for hosts to actually take it and make the guest experience better, because you're not spending time on things that are lower value add. So instead of spending time on manually sending messages, you can actually spend the time on picking up the phone, calling your guests, and delivering real hospitality, because these automations actually make it easier. So it's a little scary going into uncharted territory and navigating these rough waters. But what I do know is if we learn the automation, it's going to be a tool to help us and not to hurt us. But in this year, we're going to see a lot of different automation. The dynamic pricing tools are going to get smarter. All of these property management systems are going to get better at responding to guests. So I know automation is going to be the big thing this year, and it's definitely going to disrupt the industry.